allied with Vince McMahon, who interfered on his behalf. On the next night's Raw is War, during a steel cage title rematch, Triple H attacked The Rock, allying with McMahon and Austin and helping Austin retain the championship. Austin and Triple H then formed a tag team called the Power Trip, while The Rock was indefinitely suspended in storyline. Johnson used this time off to act in The Scorpion King. The Rock returned in late July 2001 when the WWF was feuding with rival promotions World Championship Wrestling (WCW) and Extreme Championship Wrestling (ECW) during what is known as the Invasion storyline. In reality, WCW was purchased by Vince McMahon and the WWF, and ECW had gone out of business in early 2001. Many former WCW and ECW wrestlers were then brought onto WWF television and formed the Alliance to compete with WWF in storyline. The Alliance and Vince McMahon then both attempted to persuade The Rock to join their team. The Rock then aligned with McMahon and the WWF. The next month, The Rock defeated Booker T. at SummerSlam to win the WCW Championship for the first time. He later lost the title to Chris Jericho at No Mercy on October 21, 2001. The next night on Raw, he teamed with Jericho to win the WWF Tag Team Championship from the Dudley Boys. The two then lost the tag titles to Booker T and Test on the November 1, 2001 episode of SmackDown. The Rock defeated Jericho on the November 5 episode of Raw for his second WCW Championship. As part of the WWF's battle against the Alliance, The Rock wrestled in a winner-takes-all 5-on-5 elimination tag team match at Survivor Series where the losing team's company would be dissolved in storyline. He was a member of Team WWF along with Chris Jericho, The Undertaker, Kane, and Big Show. The Alliance's team consisted of Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, and Shane McMahon. In the end, it came down to a one-on-one between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rock seemed to have the upper hand, until his teammate Jericho entered the ring and attacked The Rock. Austin tried to capitalize on this by pinning The Rock, but Kurt Angle revealed his true allegiance by attacking Austin. The Rock then pinned Austin, giving Team WWF the victory and forcing the Alliance to disband. The Rock's WCW Championship was renamed the unbranded World Championship, following the Alliance's loss. At the next pay-per-view, Vengeance on December 9, 2001, The Rock lost the World Championship to Jericho, who would then unify the WWF and World titles later that night. The Rock then unsuccessfully challenged Jericho for the now undisputed WWF Championship at Royal Rumble on January 20, 2002. At the next pay-per-view, No Way Out on February 17, 2002, The Rock defeated The Undertaker in a singles match. The event also saw the WWF debut of the famed WCW faction New World Order, which at the time consisted of Hollywood, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall. 144. This later led to a match between The Rock and Hogan at WrestleMania X8 on March 17, 2002. The match was billed as Icon vs. Icon, with both men representing the top tier of two generations of wrestling. Ultimately, The Rock pinned Hogan at WrestleMania X8. Despite The Rock portraying a heroic character and Hogan a villain, a portion of the crowd attending the Skydome was rooting heavily for Hogan. In an interview in 2013, Hogan said he and The Rock changed the style of the match on the fly based on the crowd's response. After the introduction of the first-ever brand extension, the WWF held a draft lottery on the March 25, 2002 episode of Raw. The Rock was the number 1 overall pick, going to the SmackDown brand before taking a sabbatical from wrestling. The Rock made a surprise return on a June episode of Raw before going to his assigned brand of SmackDown. There, he was named the number 1 contender for the WWE Undisputed Championship, which he won for a record-setting 7th time at Vengeance, on July 21, by defeating Kurt Angle and then champion The Undertaker in a triple threat match. The Rock successfully defended the title at the Global Warning event against Triple H and Brock Lesnar after pinning Triple H. On August 25, at SummerSlam, after interference from Lesnar's manager Paul Heyman, The Rock lost the WWE Undisputed Championship to Lesnar along with the record for the youngest WWE champion, which he had set in 1998. In 2018, writing for ESPN.com, Sean Coyle noted in a retrospective review of the event, that following his victory over Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania X8, The Rock started to see a dip in fan support, and that dip turned into a plunge by the time Rock had his match with Lesnar at SummerSlam because fans knew he was leaving WWE to pursue an acting career. This was evident by the fact that he was met with a negative crowd response during his match against Lesnar. After SummerSlam ended, The Rock was visibly angry at the crowd reaction. When he tried to do a post-show speech for the crowd, the fans at Nassau Coliseum still booed him. The Rock then took time off to kickstart his acting career. The Rock returned on the January 30, 2003 episode of SmackDown to set up another match with Hulk Hogan at No Way Out. Because of negative fan reaction during his previous couple of matches as a result of his budding acting career, The Rock turned heel for the first time since 1999. He also started a new persona that has been called Hollywood Rock, with a new look and a shaved head. The Rock defeated Hogan at No Way Out before moving to the Raw brand. There, he had various small feuds, including one with the Hurricane. He also began performing rock concerts, segments in which he played the guitar and mocked WWE performers and fans in song. After failing to win a #1 contendership for the World Heavyweight Championship, The Rock went into another program with Stone Cold Steve Austin. This led to a match at WrestleMania 19 on March 30, 2003, which called back to their previous two WrestleMania encounters, both of which Austin had won. The Rock won after delivering 3 consecutive Rock Bottoms, ending their long-running rivalry in what turned out to be Austin's final match. The next night, Raw was billed as The Rock Appreciation Night, in honor of his victory over Austin. That night, he was attacked by a debuting Goldberg. At Backlash on April 27, 2003, Goldberg defeated The Rock, who then briefly left WWE to film Walking Tall. Throughout the rest of the year, The Rock made occasional appearances, returning to a face character. In 2004, The Rock aided Mick Foley in his feud against Evolution, leading to a reunion of The Rock and Sock Connection. They lost against Ric Flair, Randy Orton, and Batista in a handicap match at WrestleMania XX on March 14, 2004, when Orton pinned Foley after an RKO. 169. This would be Johnson's final wrestling match until November 2011. The Rock appeared in WWE sporadically following WrestleMania XX. He made returns to provide support for Eugene against Jonathan Coachman, and made a cameo in his hometown of Miami and helped Mick Foley against La Resistance. Later in 2004, he hosted a pie-eating contest, as part of the WWE Diva Search, and ended the segment by giving Coachman a people's elbow. The Rock's contract with WWE then ended and he started his full-time acting career. On March 12, 2007, The Rock appeared on a WWE show after nearly 3 years, via a pre-taped promo shown during Raw. He correctly predicted that Bobby Lashley would defeat Umaga at WrestleMania 23 in Donald Trump and Vince McMahon's Battle of the Billionaires, hair versus hair match. On March 29, 2008, Johnson appeared to induct his father Rocky Johnson and grandfather Peter Maivia into the WWE Hall of Fame. Johnson's next appearance was through a pre-taped promo on October 2, 2009, during the Decade of SmackDown. On September 30, 2009, The Rock appeared at a World Extreme Wrestling WXW show to support the professional wrestling debut of Sirona Snuka, the daughter of his longtime friend and mentor Jimmy Snuka. On February 14, 2011, The Rock was announced as the host of WrestleMania 27 on April 3, 2011, appearing live on Raw for the first time in almost 7 years. During a lengthy promo, he addressed the fans and started a feud with John Cena. After numerous appearances via satellite, The Rock appeared live on the Raw before WrestleMania 27 to confront Cena. After he and Cena exchanged insults, The Miz and Alex Riley appeared and attacked The Rock. He fended off Miz and Riley, only for Cena to blindside him with an attitude adjustment. On April 3, at WrestleMania 27, The Rock opened the show by cutting a promo. After appearing in numerous backstage segments, The Rock came to ringside to restart the main event between Cena and The Miz as a no disqualification match, after it had ended in a draw. As revenge for the attitude adjustment Cena had given him on Raw, Rock hit Cena with the Rock Bottom, allowing The Miz to pin him and retain the WWE Championship. After the match, Rock attacked Miz and hit him with the People's Elbow. The following night on Raw, The Rock and Cena agreed to a match at WrestleMania 28 the next year. They then worked together to fend off an attack by the Corre, which at the time consisted of Wade Barrett, Heath Slater,